What's up, YouTube? Vash 16XLI coming at y'all today, with the second part to my interview. And today is June 10th, 2011, and the time is now
All yours.
7:47 a.m. and now I'm finna get interviewed. So I'm finna hand the camera off and be interviewed.
Alright then.
Am I in focus, or do you need to zoom in?
Let's zoom in a little more. Alright then. That's good. So, how long have you been a gamer?
I've been a gamer since 4 years old.
So, do you remember what game you played? Your very first game?
Mario.
What do you remember about it the most?
Jumping on turtle shells, kicking them into people.
Did you remember beating the game?
Yeah. I mean, Mario wasn't hard. The only other game I remember playing as a kid that just has a strong memory with me, which is why I know so much about it, is the Mega Man X series. I did play the classic Mega Mans too, but not as much. I did know about them. I knew backstory behind the classic Mega Man and the X series because I grew up playing the X series. When I had chicken pox in kindergarten, Mega Man X is what I grew up playing. So, yeah.
So you want to tell a little bit about the backstory for the people that don't know about? Just a little synopsis?
Okay. X1, basically when the Maverick Wars broke out, and that's before during X1, like at first they didn't know Sigma was behind it, because at first he wasn't behind it. When he went to fight Zero at first, that's when he broke the crystal in his forehead, and that's when it's believed to be that he turned Maverick after that event, because Zero was kicking his ass. If you watch the OVA on YouTube, you'll see that. But that's the backstory of part 1. They find out it was Sigma, so X and Zero go to stop Sigma because they killing the Mavericks at first, and they wonder why these Mavericks doing all this talking about justice and all that. Then they find out Sigma's behind them because they see Val. Val was an ex-hunter or whatever, and they pick up where that Zero dies, killing Val, and if you do stuff right, you'll get the Z-Buster in the game. I don't know how many people don't know about that, but it's stronger than you can skip the X's armor piece and end up with the Z-Buster. When Zero dies, he'll give you his Buster, and it makes it powerful than the X-Buster. And you eventually get to the end and kill Sigma, and that's when the X series begins from there. Anything else?
Yeah, so have you been playing Mega Man ever since that first game you ever played when you were having the chicken box?
Pretty much.
So you have it for yourself as a collection, or no?
All my collection is in Tennessee, because I have Mega Man Anniversary Collection for GameCube, which is the classic 1 through 8, and the Power Battles 1 and 2. Then I have Mega Man X Collection, which is 1 through 6. I played 7, had it, beat it, got tired of it, and I played 8 and beat it and got tired of it. But I'm going to get 8 and 7 back just for the simple fact of playing them and learning what mechanics were good about it and what mechanics sucked, even though I know X7 is not that great, because they didn't like the 3D thing. 3D thing wasn't so bad with me. It's just that it got repetitive because you only had one armor in the game, and that was the glide armor. I'm like, how you gonna have a Mega Man X game with one armor? That's redundant.
So out of all the Mega Mans you played, and you played quite a few, which one would you consider your top 3? Out of playing any other, no matter what time or what day, you will play over and over again and never get tired of it?
Mega Man X5, 6. Well, it has to be more than top 3. It has to be top 5. Mega Man 5, 6, X5, and X6. 8 was pretty fun, but it isn't in my top 3. Mega Man X4, X5, X6, X Command Mission, and 1, 2. I mean, just all of them in general, all the X's except 7 and 8. Even X Commandments was fun, even though it's RPG.
So, can I say which is your favorite blaster when you play? Which one do you like the best?
Which Mega Man?
Name for all of them.
I mean, all the blasters are X Buster most of the time, except like I said, you get the Z Buster in Part 1, and if you did stuff right, you would end up with the Hadoken too. So, I mean, when it comes to the question I would answer would be, what's my favorite armor of X, and that would be, let's see, I like the Force armor, I like the Ultimate armor, but I think the one that stands out the most for me was the Blade armor, because he could Matrix pause, he'll stop like that, and in 5 seconds he'll dash either left, right, up, or down, depending on what direction you press. That helps you get through spikes, like in X6, because like it was like these spaces where you have to dash through, and you'd be like, because you knew you couldn't do it unless you had shadow armor, but it turns out the piece that you're trying to get was shadow armor. So shadow armor, you can walk on spikes. It's a ninja armor. He's black and got the ninja thing on. He shoots shurikens, and he charges up a beam saber sword. How many minutes we have?
About 6:45.
Okay, cool.
All right, then you said you grew up with Mario as
Mario,
well as
Sonic, because that was the first game I seen.
All the classics as well. I mean, no one can argue those were the classics of the early days. So what do you like about Mario now? I mean, since it's all 3D now and not 2D platforms anymore.
Well, it expands your prerogative and your classic nostalgia feeling, because for the simple fact, you so used to killing enemies in 2D, now you can kill them in 3D, and, you know, get that same kind of satisfaction. Some people might say, oh, that's not true, but honestly it is. You can still jump on turtles and steal their shells and still throw them at people. I mean, it's only certain paths they can go, but, you know, you steal a green shell, it just goes wherever you throw it. You steal a red shell, it homes in and still kills people. I mean, you still get that classic enemy feeling when you play it. So, yeah.
So, from platforming to racing, what is your opinion about the racing stuff about Mario now?
As in Mario Kart Wii?
Yes.
And Mario Kart in general.
Yeah, basically.
Mario Kart gets better and better with each Mario Kart. But the best Mario Kart, in my opinion, has to be Double Dash. Why? Because, I mean, what other game could you just sit down and play team racing and enjoy yourself in better than Mario Kart Double Dash? I mean, people might say Mario Kart Wii is better. That's not true, for the simple fact, there's not two people. That's the only game you could team up with two people actually on one cart and have fun. I mean, me and my homeboy Tony, and he'll tell you when I do an interview with him down in Tennessee, that we used to clear that room out in 10th, yeah, it was 10th and 11th grade. We used to clear the room out playing Double Dash. People used to make us split up off teams because they were pissed because we beat them that bad. I still mess with Double Dash because I just recently got it back. Now, it's not a hard game. It's still fun. I love it. Now, Mario Kart Wii, it's not hard either, but it gets ridiculous with the CPU. I could stomp the CPU. It's just like when you're playing online, some people just pass you up, and you can't understand how the hell they did it. You're like, where did he come from? And you're like, why can't I catch him? So yeah, it gets a little redundant. But Double Dash by far is the best one. Then I would say Super Mario Kart. That was on NES, Super NES. At that, I wouldn't say Mario Kart 64 for the simple fact. I mean, I used to like exploring in that game, but Diddy Kong Racing had my attention over that game because Diddy Kong Racing was the better, superior game superior racing game in my honest opinion when it came to Nintendo 64. When those two threw down, Diddy Kong Racing won.
Alright, we're going from racing to fighting. What was your best fighting game when you started growing up?
Soryuken! That's what it was. No, but honestly, it was Street Fighter. I grew up playing Street Fighter because my brother had a Sega Genesis. And my other brother had a Super Nintendo. And I ended up with a Nintendo 64 in due time. And we grew up playing Street Fighter. Grew up playing Mortal Kombat. We grew up playing Killer Instinct. We grew up playing a lot of classic games like that. And a classic arcade game, even though this isn't fighting, that people should know about is Joe and Mac, the Caveman Ninja. That shit right there was great. Y'all have to read up on that game. That game was it should be released right about now, but the company died out. What is it? Datatel East? It died out. Bankrupt. But yeah.
Well,
oh yeah, Tekken 2 is something I grew up playing because my brother had a PS1 before me, and I got a PS1 later. So yeah.
so with all those games that you mentioned, what are the similarities between all of them, and what are the differences that you see in your opinion?
Similarities are, one, Street Fighter has stayed true to its roots, even though like sometimes Capcom might not take in exactly what the fans say, but you know, they do what they gotta do to make the game great. And a lot of fanboys and people whine about the unnecessary shit, which causes like more problems for other people. Tekken, it is really differentiated between every game. 1 and 2 were kind of similar, except 2 looked it better and kind of had more moves. 3 and 4 was a major step away from each other for the simple fact Jin lost his traditional Kazama style fighting. He switched it up to what he is now. 5 and 6 were definitely different because 5 you actually had a great juggling system. 6, horrible juggling system. Now, I know I'm not the only one to complain about it, but yeah, that's. And then we seeing Tekken Tag Tournament 2. I know I skipped Tekken Tag Tournament, but I really didn't play much of it. It had a great juggling system. It was a great game too. And when it comes to Mortal Kombat, I mean, it really hasn't changed. It's not in my top 5, but it's in my top 10. Because, I mean, I'm a Street Fighter fan. No offense to no Mortal Kombat fans out there, but, you know, that's just that. I mean, they did horrible when they went in 3D. And then, you know, when they came back to this new one, they did great, but they left out Rain. Why the hell would you leave out a classic character that was core? I mean, shit. Now they bring out other people, and a lot of people want Rain. True fans want Rain back, but some fanboys are like, oh, don't put in no more ninjas. You stupid fanboys, he made Mortal Kombat. He was in there. I mean, he was a joke character, but he's still seen as, he's the shit in many people's eyes, and that's true.
Exactly.
How many minutes we had?
Yeah. I remember playing with Rain too. Real good.
How many?
Oh, it's 13:31.
Let me know when we hit 15, because then I'm going to go into another one.
Alright then. So we're talking about Mortal Kombat now. Out of every Mortal Kombat character, even though it's not one of your top 5, but in your top 10, which characters do you love to play with the most, and why?
Ermac, because he's that nigga. Rain, because he also is that nigga. But no, seriously, Ermac, because, I mean, his style is kind of suited to my type of person I look for in a Mortal Kombat game in the first place. He shoots, he teleports, he smashes people against the ground, he can shoot them away. Rain, because, I mean, hey, anytime you throw a water ball and make them move forward towards you and you come in with the uppercut, and then you come with a roundhouse kick that makes somebody fly, hit them into the wall and they bounce back, and you come with the uppercut and they fly right back, like in a classic one. Cyrax, because I always have, like, been fascinated with him. Sector the same, he shoots missiles. I like the new Smoke, even though everybody doesn't like his hair. Kung Lao. Yeah. We're going to have to continue this in part 2, so I'm coming back, YouTube. Peace.